right, so tell me everything you know about USC, UCLA, Washington, and Oregon.
4 really good teams. Extremely talented.
Is it weird going into this Big Ten year trying to figure out what's going to happen when you got 4 new teams, 4 new coaches, and everyone's rosters are different?
Yeah, I think it's a little different. I think it's weird. Weird is a good word, because I can remember coming to media day in 2014 when you added Maryland, you added Rutgers, 2 new teams, but it wasn't the portal era, so it wasn't a lot of new guys. So I think it's a lot of new names, a lot of new faces. I just think it makes for the league to be extremely talented, especially with this year. Only 15 of the 18 teams are going to make the tournament, so it's not going to be any nights where you can take off. So I think seeing Coach Musselman, Coach Cronin, seeing those guys be in a Big Ten space it's going to be fun.
What would this be like to you as a player? Like back when you played at Purdue 100 years ago, you knew Yogi was going to be at IU for X number of years. You knew, the same guys were going to be on the same teams every year. Now it's just you have no idea. Well, you might know names on a roster, but you don't know the teams as well.
Oh no, it reminds me just more of AAU style basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It just you gotta go and you gotta hoop. You're gonna have some teams that stay the same, like a Purdue, but you're gonna have teams. You look at Illinois, a team that reached the Elite Eight. How many times the Elite Eight team has to do an entire roster turnover? So I think for me, it would have been fun. I can remember being able to go out to Maryland for the first time. That was always fun. But then now the guys are able to go out to Washington, go out to California. But guys don't. In the summertime, guys aren't worried about other rosters. You're not necessarily worried about other teams' roster until November comes and you're looking at them play on TV. So I wouldn't say we spent a lot of time, because we never looked at what freshman was coming in or who was transferring where. Although it was going on at a smaller scale. We just didn't pay attention to that type of stuff.
We had a pretty good idea of teams' personnel. You knew that when you played Iowa, they were going to try to score 130 points.
Yeah, and I think
you knew that when you played Michigan State, they were going to punch you in the face and things like that.
That's real. And I think now you just I think some coaches will change their philosophy based on their players, but I think within the Big Ten, I think you're still going to expect that from Izzo. You're still going to expect that from Iowa, but I think they just don't know what to expect from those West Coast teams. That's true. Yeah.
So is Purdue just the most known commodity right now? You feel
number one
because they have so many guys coming? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think Purdue is this team that you just know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get out of Purdue. You know Braden Smith is one of the better guards in the country. You know Fletcher Loyer can make shots, and we've all kind of seen it come from TKR, especially in the tournament last season when they went to him in some of those games. But I think when you're returning all your guys and not adding much, you got a talented freshman class coming in, and then you reach to the national championship. I think it might have just been a safe choice.
How different is Purdue right now from the Purdue you joined back in 2012?
Oh, shit. Oh, man, I thought you were going to say from last year, but it's night and day. You think about it, when Purdue lost the baby Boilermakers, you lose JJ, you lose Etwan, you lose Robbie. We're bottom of the Big Ten. We're dead last. And you think now you lose the National Player of the Year, the 2-time National Player of the Year, Zach-Edey, and you come back, you're preseason number 1 with another Player of the Year. So I think where Coach has gotten the program culture-wise is special. Where Coach has how he's able to build, doing it his way, not having to go through the portal or not having to bend to players' will through the NIL space. I think it's big time. I think this is the program that Coach wanted to build. I think when we were stressing him out, when we were last place in the Big Ten, he used to talk about what winning basketball could look like, and this is what it looks like. I think since I left campus, it's just been special to watch. I think just one down year since I've left, and to see what Coach has put together and see the buy-in he has from his guys. And I asked Fletcher today. I told him when I was a freshman, you come in on the backs of those guys like JJ and those dudes, you just expect Purdue to win. I remember me and Jay Simpson as freshmen, hey, we go to the tournament before the season starts. So it's now how do you relay that to those younger guys? And Fletcher said those young guys don't expect anything. They come in, they do their work, and they work hard. And I think Paint used to tell me that he wished I came in with the older guys from before my time that had a culture set. And I think when your locker room is set, you got new guys coming in, it does nothing but help you.
They've built themselves into quite an offensive program too. The program you came into was Rock Fight City.
Well, I don't say that. Well, when I came in too, they had one of the better offenses in the country. I think that I think Robbie's senior year, I think they led the country in turnovers, something like less turnover or something. But the Purdue I committed to, oh man, each one of those dudes. But the Purdue, that sophomore year, offensively, I think I think if you score more than 65 points, you're going to be Purdue. If that 2012 to 2014, if you score more than maybe 60, you have a good chance of being Purdue. And where Coach Payne has gotten it, when PJ has gotten his offensive mind. I mean, you look at it, our offense changed when PJ came as a freshman. So now you give him the clipboard. I mean, it's just going to go off to do wonderful things.
You've known PJ for a while. What's it been like seeing him on this fast track he's been on?
Yeah, I think, I've known PJ since PJ would have been in 4th grade. PJ would have been in 4th or 5th grade when I first saw PJ play ball with those dudes. And I think it's special. When PJ came in as a freshman, I mean, I was a junior. I was looking for PJ for answers. There would be a timeout, and me and John Noctis, we come to the bench, we're asking PJ what he thinks. We're asking his reads. And PJ was the first guy I saw be able to use a ball screen the way he does. Like, you look at Braden Smith and you look at the reads he's making, that's a lot of PJ. That's a lot of coaching from PJ. But I think PJ, I've been saying it for just a long time. I always tell him, I text him at least once a week and say, you're going to be the next Purdue head coach. Take me with you. So I think it's super cool to see one of my guys that I used to go to Jersey Tuesdays with right there helping lead the program.
Jersey Tuesdays?
Jersey Tuesdays.
What's that?
You gotta ask PJ. And anybody that's listening that's on campus, on campus, when we were on campus, they should know Jersey Tuesdays.
What's it been like for you as an alum seeing Purdue get to the title game last year?
Oh, it was special. It was because, like I said, we played in a CBI and lost at Mackey to Santa Clara my freshman year.
Yeah.
And I think had a guy go off and give us 30. I think half of those 30 of them was in the second half. So you lose that game. That next season, you finish last place in the Big Ten, and then that next season, we were projected to finish 13th. So where this program is right now, I mean, I couldn't be happier for it. I couldn't. Last season, I mean, I'm still having flashbacks to that shot that Lance Jones hit, because even though I felt though we were going to win that game, we're going to win games, get to the national championship, it just kind of, you got that thought in the back of your mind that something was going to happen.
Yeah.
And to see Payne, I mean, because I just read an article today that said from 2014, and then Payne didn't figure it out, Payne to be out the door. And then here we are 10 years later, Payne's not just figured it out, but he's probably the best coach in the country and probably one of the better coaches in the Big Ten.